How many handicapping groups can say they were around before Twitter, MySpace, AOL, Sunday morning cable infomercials, beepers, and 1-800 numbers? Founded in 1957, The Gold Sheet is the country's longest-running sports betting newsletter and has served bettors for over 6 decades. So between 1957 and now, if you have not checked out The Gold Sheet, here's your chance for only $1 per day. Head to goldsheet.com and just go to Buy Now or click the special box on the main page to get both the NBA Gold Sheet and College Basketball Gold Sheet newsletter for only $7. For just $1 per day, you will receive projected scores, spread and totals, power ratings and strength of schedule, teams straight up, against the spread, and over-under records and their season average line for both sides and total. Plus, tons more handicapper information to help you bet with confidence, and of course, tons of picks. This offer is for a limited time only, so act fast and head to goldsheet.com and try it out for 7 days for only $7. You'll be glad you did.
Hey guys, welcome in and a very happy Friday to you now, November the 18th. And what a college basketball slate of games we have today heading into this next full weekend of college hoops. Plenty to go over. We got a couple of games we're going to break down for you, have a couple of best bets, and we're going to do it with two of the finest at wagertalk.com as we welcome in Dave Cokin in the house, as well as Bryan Leonard. And we're in a treat today, guys. We get to decide which one of these 6 teams we're going to be discussing today gets to lose. Going to be a lot of fun here. Bryan, how are you, my friend? Welcome in. I know it's Friday, NHL, only one game, but got a lot going on over this weekend here. What do you got locked and loaded for us?
Yeah, today's a lot better than the last few days. As tore my back up a little bit, but went out and got some muscle relaxers, and I'm a new man today. So hopefully we can get some winners for you. But yeah, I've got one play up in college football tonight, one play up in the NBA. Kind of like the road team in the hockey game, but not quite enough to make a play. And at this point, at least, unless I get some line movement, I'll be passing in college basketball. But yeah, the 2 plays up tonight, college football and the NBA.
All right. Visit Bryan over at wagertalk.com. While you're there, swing by Dave Cokin's page. His 5% best bet in college football, guys, is still available up at his page. We've been telling you about that all week. If you're just joining us now, these 5% plays don't come around very often. When they do, there's a reason why he is the #1 most profitable handicapper at Wager Talk in college football. Make sure you swing by, grab that 5% best bet. And what else is on tap here this weekend, Dave?
Well, was wondering if Bryan might be able to swing over and share some of those muscle relaxers. What the hell?
I get Tony.
Because I don't have a lot going. I don't have much going on tonight, so I have a college basketball game, which I'm actually going to give out as the best bet here on the show. Nothing in the NHL game. Won another game with the Devils last night, and I have a pending 5% on the New Jersey Devils over their total points. They won 11 in a row. I think I'm pretty happy with that scenario right now. College basketball, 3 straight winners. Yeah, it's okay. So we'll see what comes up with the weekend stuff, and hopefully keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, we got great games here today. In fact, all 6 of these teams combined 16-0 to start the season here, which is monstrous. And now we get to talk about which one's going to lose. So let's start here with Baylor and Virginia. 7 o'clock Eastern time tip here, guys. Baylor laying 4.5. That total has come down a little bit, shockingly. 130 and a half right now. So, Bryan, kick us off here. We know there's going to be some defense here. What do you like in this matchup?
Yeah, this is right in Dave and I's backyard. Is playing in the same building I was in last night for the Golden Knights game. Two games that we're talking about tonight, and they're both here in Las Vegas. Some great teams and great histories between this grouping. I believe it's the first time all season we've had this many highly competitive games on the card. There's been a lot of games that, pay-per-play games, basically, where one team gets blown out against the big guys. But, yeah, they're both very deserving. If you take a look at the shot quality numbers, you got the Baylor Bears are number 2 adjusted shot quality, 7th offensively, 9th defensively. They got 4 players that rank in the shot quality points per possession rankings of 90% or better. Excellent starting lineup here for Baylor. Virginia's number 2 all the way shot quality offense. And we know how good their defense has been over the years. So this is going to be a real dogfight. Kind of reminds me, I talked about it on the hockey show yesterday with Florida in going up against Dallas. And these teams that are higher scoring seem, at least in hockey, when they go up against a team like Dallas, they really struggle. Dallas comes out to a 4-0 lead, wins that game 6-4, I believe. And that's the thing with Baylor. Baylor's got the better athletes, in my opinion. They've got the better starting lineup. But Virginia is one of those teams that matches up very well with a lot of these teams that have some really good athletes. So it's a tough game to call. The line's fair. Lean Baylor, but not enough to make a selection.
All right. How about it? I believe it is labeled the Continental Tire main tournament here. And Dave, 2 teams that's very similar. They got some depth. What do you think is going to be the difference here tonight?
Well, I've seen Baylor. It was against Miss Valley State, so it's tough to garner any real info out of that. But I don't see any weaknesses in this team. I mean, if you're making out a list of candidates to be playing on the last couple of weekends of the season, come March Madness, the Bears have got to be on your list. They don't have any weaknesses. They really pass the ball well. They can shoot the 3, and they're willing to shoot it. I think I trust them more than Virginia at this point. I mean, I expect Virginia to rebound from a subpar year last season, but they're going to have to prove it to me. And I think the Bears are the more proven entity at this point. So I would lean Baylor. The line's a little higher than I could consider making it. I mean, it was 2.5. I'd probably make a bet on Baylor at 4.5. Not so much, but I'll lean that way. I think Baylor's good enough to win and cover here.
4 guys averaging at least 10 points a game. They've got 9 guys averaging 14 minutes a game. They got some depth, these Baylor Bears here. Should be a fun one for sure there. Get ready, 7 o'clock Eastern Time tip there. And we'll move on to another pretty good one. This one a little earlier, I believe. 6 o'clock Eastern Time. You got Xavier taking on Indiana. Indiana opens up as a small favorite there, 2.5. We got 142.5 as a total. Indiana the better team here, Dave, in your mind?
Not necessarily. Xavier had a lot of things go wrong last year. They were kind of Murphy's Law team in a way. I don't think they ever really got to their level of talent. So I think they're going to be better this year. Indiana looked to be outstanding. This is going to be a game where you're seeing a lot of attacking of the rim by both Indiana and Xavier. They're both excellent at that. I think the game's a flat toss-up. So in terms of a game that probably goes to the wire, I think this is it. That would lean me to the Xavier side, but again, it's not a game I can really recommend a wager on.
We saw Bright 3.5, then 3, now 2.5. So there is a little bit of Xavier love in the marketplace here tonight, taking the points, and like Dave said, is essentially a toss-up game here. Who do you give the edge to?
Yeah, Dave talked about getting to the rim. The Hoosiers are number 1 in offensive efficiency, attacking the rim. In fact, they're number 1 overall in adjusted efficiency, 7th offensively, 2nd defensively. This is the first road game for Indiana. When you play at home, teams look great early in the season. And then when they got to go on the road against a quality opponent, that's not a team I'm looking to back for the most part. The passing game was very good for both these teams, ranking in the top 6. So a lot of good ball movement. Whoever can get open shots can hit them. The problem you have with Xavier is they're only 342nd in three-point shooting attempts. They don't shoot from the outside. They'll take you down, try to get the easy shots. Good defensive team. So that is a concern. Also a concern for me is if you take a look at the actual shot quality numbers against the scores, all of 3 of Xavier's games, they didn't really win by the numbers as well as the final score said. So they may be slightly overrated right now, but I don't want to play Indiana first game on the road. Line's 2.5 now. Obviously, if we were getting the original number, it'd be a different story. Slightly to Xavier, but not enough to play it for me.
All right, should be a good one there, guys. We also have one more that's going to be a lot of fun, too, out in Vegas. That's going to be Illinois taking on UCLA. UCLA laying 3.5. That total is 145. This will be the later game there, 9:30 Eastern time. So feels like a brand new Illinois team for Coach Underwood there, Dave. Couple of Baylor transfers, Texas Tech. A lot of the names and faces no longer there for Illinois and Brad Underwood. What do you think about this team?
Well, and it might take them some time to gel. So we'll have to wait and see. UCLA might have a slight site advantage here. I think the Bruin fans will be in attendance tonight. Illinois looks like a team that's going to want to play fast. That generally doesn't work against UCLA. This is a team that usually is very well coached defensively, and I expect that to be the case tonight. Cronin's teams always play defense. I don't know that I want to lay the points. Again, these are tough games tonight that we're talking about here. I don't think it's bettable. But I give a little lean to UCLA. I think they might be a little more cohesive at this point, and I think that's going to get them past Illinois. Close game. Should be exciting, but I'll give a slight tip to UCLA.
Leaning towards UCLA here. I mean, they've pretty much ran through some of these mid-major tin cans, right?
No, they actually, Brian, I think Brian will talk about this. They did not play well in their last game.
No, they did not. Granted, this is going to be the toughest game that they've had thus far on the very early season, but who do you give the edge to?
Yeah, Dave talked about UCLA. If you take a look at the expected win percentage that from shot quality against Norfolk State, 96, but Long Beach, 83%, even though they won by 24, and against Sacramento State, 61% in a game they won by 26. According to the shot quality numbers, it should only beaten Sacramento State by 3. Oof. That's somewhat of a concern here. Illinois is a team, and by the way, Dave talked about the scheduling where the games are played. All these West Coast teams now are all trying to get to Las Vegas, play in Las Vegas for their tournaments. Obviously, they love coming out here. You can get all your fans from across the country, plenty of hotel rooms. You can get out of the LA crime in a lot of instances and get to Vegas crime, which is slightly less, I guess. But it's a situation where they've played here before. They know a little bit more about it, which I guess would give them a little slight edge. But I really like the way this Illinois team has played so far. Against Monmouth, UMKC, and Eastern Illinois. In all 3 games, they had a win percentage after the game of 97% based on the shots they took. So they've been consistently good all season long. Now, obviously, big step up for both teams, probably even more here for Illinois. But I like this Illinois team. The coaching, this team works out better for the head coach in the system there because they were going with Coburn. Last few years, he was such a main person in this lineup where he was more of a just get it into him and clear everybody out kind of thing. Well, now that he's gone, they can play more of the team game that he's been wanting to play, and it's turned out really well so far in these games. So another great game out here in Vegas, but I prefer the Illinois side.
Like in Illinois there, leaning towards them and that in the main event out in Vegas, 9:30 Eastern time tip there. Loaded card here today across the board. Now we'll go around the horn here and see if there's a game these guys like a little more than the rest. But a quick reminder, of course, if you head over to wagertalk.com, Dave Cokin has his 5% best bet in college football, locked and loaded, ready to go. It's yours. Just visit his page. There you'll see it. He is number one in profits in college football in the history here at Wager Talk. So great opportunity for you guys to hop on board with a 5% best bet in college football. And Bryan Leonard as well, ready to roll. NHL, college football, NFL weekend, college basketball, a lot going on. No reason not to make it a profitable weekend. So, Bryan, kick us off here. Which game on the card do you like a little more than the rest?
It'll be the latter one that we just spoke about, the UCLA-Illinois game. Just a situation for myself, even though UCLA does have a slight advantage here because they play here a lot. The Pac-12 teams. I like the way the Illinois team matches up, and they're able to play the kind of ball that they've wanted to play without the big guy in center. So, give me Illinois. I was kind of surprised, at least from my rankings, that they were in this price range. So I'll take them. When you've got two very good teams like this, I'd prefer to take the dog, and it wouldn't surprise me if they win this one outright. And I'll take them as my best bet on the show today.
All right, leaning with Illinois to get it done against UCLA. Dave, how about you? Where are you looking here?
All you got to do, Coach. Coach K isn't there anymore, but I expect the tendency to be the same, which is Duke coming off a loss. Look out. Delaware doesn't turn the ball over. They're a pretty solid fundamental team, but they can't match up athletically, and I think Duke's going to come out firing tonight. Numbers high. 23, no, it's not going to be cheap, but I think Duke will eventually pull away and win this game comfortably. So Duke minus the points is the game I'll use for the best bet here on the show.
All right, Duke it is, and our friends from the Gold Sheet, they have a play of the day as well, and of course we'd invite you to head over to thegoldsheet.com, check out all the tools available and all these great write-ups in these games right now. Goldsheet.com, they're taking a look at the Indiana-Xavier game. They're looking at the over, expecting some points to hit there in this matchup. And again, you can read that, guys, if you visit us over on our Twitter page. We post these Gold Sheet plays of the day up at Wager Talk on Twitter. But really do yourself a favor, head over to Goldsheet.com. Sign up and get all access to these write-ups and all of those tools here for college basketball. All right, guys, we're going to go with one of the games we talked about here earlier, only I'm going to look at the under with Baylor and Virginia here. Virginia, if they're not hitting threes, points are going to be hard to come by here, and I just don't see how they're going to be able to score a whole lot to get this thing up and over the total. They can play defense themselves, but the depth is going to get them. I'll go under the 130.5 in that matchup. All right, one more time to recap. Bryan Leonard going Illinois, taking those 3.5 points, while Dave, go with Duke, guys. Lay at the 23. That's where he's leaning. I'm going to go with the under in Baylor and Virginia here at $130.5, while our friends at the Gold Sheet, they like the over in Indiana and Xavier. And don't forget, head over to wagertalk.com, visit Dave, go grab that 5% best bet in college football. And Bryan, his best bets, those 3-day, 7-day, 30-day all-access packages, guys, really the best way to go. Now that college basketball's in full swing, NHL, so much going on in the world of sports. Partner up with those 3-day, 7-day, and 30-day all-access packages and never miss a best bet. That'll do it this week here, guys. College basketball, all sorts of fun. We got we're just getting started, really. We'll be back on Monday, Thanksgiving week here, talking about college hoops. We'll do it all over again. But until then, of course, on behalf of Dave and Bryan Leonard, we appreciate the time, guys. Best of luck with all your plays this weekend. We'll talk to you again on Monday. Good luck.
How many handicapping groups can say they're around before Twitter, MySpace, AOL, Sunday morning cable infomercials, beepers, and 1-800 numbers? Founded in 1957, the Gold Sheet is the country's longest-running sports betting newsletter and has served bettors for over 6 decades. So between 1957 and now, if you have not checked out the Gold Sheet, here's your chance for only $1 per day. Head to goldsheet.com and just go to Buy Now or click the special box on the main page to get both the NBA Gold Sheet and College Basketball Gold Sheet newsletter for only $7. For just $1 per day, you will receive projected scores, spread and totals, power ratings and strength of schedule, teams straight up, against the spread, and over-under records and their season average line for both sides and total. Plus, tons more handicapping information to help you bet with confidence, and of course, tons of picks. This offer is for a limited time only, so act fast and head to goldsheet.com and try it out for 7 days for only $7. You'll be glad you did.